Having seen BOI's impactful partnerships with some states, other governors are already knocking at the bank's doors. One of them is the BOI state governor.
We are talking on creating an industrial park. 3 industrial parks in the state. Why do we need it? We are very rich in limestone. So we have a fertilizer processing plant. We can replicate that because we have limestone, which is one of the components of fertilizer. We have lead, so we want to have a battery factory within that zone. We have zinc, so we want to have cottage industries that are zinc based. We have clay, so we want to have tiles industry, we want to have a ceramic industry. Then we have food, a lot of food. We have cassava, we have yam, we have rice, we have maize. So we want to have food processing, medium-sized companies within that zone. We want to get to a couple of local governments and be able to access a minimum of 10,000 hectares of land that is running continuously. And within this 10,000 hectares of land, we're going to have a rice mill there. We're going to have school there. We're going to have recreational facilities there. We're going to have irrigation there. And then we will have, this kind of rice power plant, to be able to drive the power needs of that distance. So it's there, and there's a proposal that is on the table. If Bank of Industry will say go ahead, it's a good idea.
Aside from counterpart funding with states, a complete spectrum of entrepreneurs from across the country have opened themselves up to greater levels of prosperity in partnership with the bank through its various products and cluster funds like the Nolly Fund, Agro-Processing Fund, Fashion Fund, Youth Entrepreneurship Support Scheme, as well as managed funds like the Dangote Fund, just to mention a few. These products targeted at MSMEs have generated considerable employment opportunities across different value chains, improving the living standards of communities where viable MSMEs are located. Here are some of the testimonies from just a few of businessmen and women who have benefited from the Bank of Industry's intervention.
My children, who did they offend?
Nobody, just victims of war.
We found that we were really drained financially, and you couldn't go to the regular banks. The regular banks are 22% to borrow to get a facility. You'll be wiped out. Learning about the Bank of Industry, they were prepared to give me a facility, a collateralized facility for 4 years, and with a moratorium of 1, in which I could then pay, and then their own percentage was workable, 10%. And the beauty of it is that it has helped us to stay afloat. It really has, because had it not been for that facility when we got it, we probably would have gone under.
Bank of Industries has been quite helpful in this project in terms of, the way they were able to disperse the funds. They were very flexible. In my case, I think because they'd established that the business was very viable, they gave quite a bit of a free hand. They disbursed the money, and then they now just basically followed the progress of the project to make sure that all the things I said I was going to procure were in place. And, with that, they were quite helpful. And also, they've been able to bring us in contact with other people who are trying to set up their own industries, who they've been funding. So we can actually, you have somebody in Enugu, there's a gentleman in Enugu that does recycling of oil. He converts oil to basically condemned engine oil. He rejuvenates it and recycles it to oil. And part of what we use when we can't source gas or diesel is oil. So I was able to tap into their network of other people that are working with them to be able to, form some kind of a partnership where, okay, you have this, you do this, okay, let's, I can use your product, and also get some information from them on, how they went about fixing their plants, setting up their plants, to land issues, to, accountants, the best way to, manage your finances, And we also are open to them because they actually encourage other people to come and see what we're doing. And we also have a forum where we discuss with them and, advise them. So some people actually come and say, Bank of Industries is long-winded. I can't deal with the stress. But by the time you actually sit down and you do what you're meant to do, it pays off at the end of the day. So I have to give it to them, they know what they're doing.
Immediately we heard of the CTG fund, special CTG fund in 2009. We approached the Bank of Industry and we applied without knowing anybody there, and we were given consideration.
So from the first time you walked into the Bank of Industry to draw down, give me a sense of the timeline. How long did it take?
It was within 3 months. The process was within 3 months. And the timeline was, the delay in that, even in getting up to 3 months, was because we were unable to meet some of the requirements, because we had to get one document or the other to submit. But within 3 months, we had the first disbursement. They've been so good in dealing. They help the business, not just handing the money down to you. They go deeply into relationship with the customers. They listen to your challenges. They want to see how much they can help, even outside of giving you the funding.
The Bank of Industry has also built and sustained partnerships with local and international organizations like the Enterprise Development Center of the Pan-Atlantic University, Kaduna Business School, the United Nations Industrial Development Organization UNIDO, and United Nations Development Program UNDP, just to mention a few. All these are in a bid to reach, train and empower local entrepreneurs, create jobs and improve people's lives.
The agricultural sector due to limited processing and preservation capacity. This results in high food prices and food importation, with its attendant effects on the nation's foreign reserves. To enable Nigerians optimize the benefits from the country's vast agricultural products such as cassava, oil palm, rice, tomatoes and others, the Bank of Industry has launched a 5 billion naira cottage agro-processing fund, the CAP Fund. Customers can access the fund to establish plans to process our various agro-produce into food products or intermediate raw materials for industries at a single-digit interest rate of 9% per annum. For more information on the CAP Fund, please visit www.boinigeria.com/capfund. Bank of Industry, developing Nigeria's agro-processing industry through the CAP Fund.
There is no gainsaying that the Bank of Industry is the go-to finance institution, especially in this season when Nigeria needs higher levels and volumes of productivity and businesses require all the liquidity they can get. The bank has cluster funds, managed funds, and counterpart funds available to all businesses in virtually all sectors of the Nigerian economy that have viable business plans and add value to Nigeria's natural resources. Your job will be to find out from the bank under which arrangements you are covered. With working agreements with 20 states and counting, plus footprints spanning all the 6 geopolitical zones, as well as individual business interventions in literally all states of the Federation, the Bank of Industry is closer to you than you can imagine. Visit their website at boi.ng or call at any of their branches closest to you. The bank has also drastically reduced the turnaround time for processing loans. You can actually apply for a loan online. Download the BOI SME Loan app from the Google Play Store and follow the instructions. Feel free to tweet at me at KAY for further inquiries. That's our package for today, and this is where we say goodbye. Let's get to work. It's time to rebuild and reposition Nigeria. Thanks for watching. I'm Kayode Alayande. Bye now.